Hey, my Legion, how y'all doing today? I got a very special review, and this is like my personal history, along with a review of Munchos potato chips. And Tony Talant was kind enough to send these to me, and he said he knows that I had a history with them. And I want to tell you my whole history. It might take a little while before I get to a review. Now, thank you again, Tony. I really appreciate it. I really do. There's something he said for me for my birthday. Basically, when I talk about my life, I split it into different sections, right? Basically, the first section is really, when I was really little, in the house in Albion, from when I was born until like the summer after first grade. And then the second thing was when I was in a house in Cranesville, and that was from like the summer before second grade all the way up until I went to the Army. And then the time I was in the Army, and then the time I was out of the Army living here with my dad, and then the time living here after my dad passed away. And so, I mean, that's the different rest of the time. And this video goes, the personal history goes pretty much from my Army days up until now. You know, and growing up, we didn't have many different types of chips. We had Pringles, and basically it was just regular Pringles, and it was like once you pop, you can't stop. It was just, they sold regular Pringles. I don't think they had any different flavors. And for the other potato chips, I mentioned this before, we usually had like Troyer Farms or Wise, pretty much. And Lay's kind of somewhat, and Ruffles. But pretty much the flavors when I was growing up were, well, they had Funyuns. That was different. They had like, I forgot. Well, regular, salt and vinegar, sour cream and onion, barbecue, and what was the other one? Well, sour cream and onion, and then sometimes hot, and then they had like no salt sometimes, and then like they had like Cheetos, of course, and they had some different like Ruffles and stuff like that. But those were the main flavors, and then they had handicap hot fries, were really good. And Nibbles with Gibbles was out, and they had like a hot chip that was one of my ones I grew up with. And in the Army, things were different. They didn't have too many hot chips because I was always looking for the hot flavored chips. And when I was in Germany for 2 years during the Army, all they had, the Germans weren't good at making potato chips. All they had was they had paprika chips in the vending machine, and usually I bought them before, and that was the closest to a hot chip they had, and they weren't hot at all. They were just very mild. They were okay. But the only thing is, I mean, for a vending machine chip, they were good value because they charged the same amount as the other chips, but they offered a lot more in the bag, you know. So that was good, maybe an ounce or two more, maybe 3 or 4 ounces. I don't know, I can't remember how many. But it seemed like there was a lot in the bag of those. And the only thing really unusual they had for microwavable popcorn, they had Orville Redenbacher had a sour cream and onion popcorn, which I can't find ever since I left Germany. I remember they used to have a caramel cone, which is like they give you a big hunk of caramel. This was too much for me. It seemed like overkill. I'm not big into caramel, but I like caramel cone now. But they put a big chunk of caramel in there, and you microwave it, and then you like take it and you gush it all together and stuff like that. That wasn't for me. But a lot of other people liked it. And then, going to Fort Bragg, things changed a little bit. I found at a vending machine they had something called, they had a couple items from, they're all from Frito-Lay, Crunchers, which was, I think, my first time ever trying a kettle-cooked potato chip. And then they had, like, jalapeno and mesquite barbecue, and I tried those, and they were both really good. Usually, I give them in the vending machine there, in where I worked at, in the Signal Company, or you know, you go to like the Shopette, which is like I love the Shopette. The Shopette's kind of like a cross between the PX and the Compensate, except a lot smaller. And you could rent movies there. I remember renting Puppet Master 2, for example, there. And then they also had this Munchos, light tasting crispy snack potato crisps, $2 only. They just have the $2 on there. I remember trying those and really liking them. along with the Crunchers. And then I don't know if they stopped making Crunchers or not, because I haven't been able to find them in a long, long time. But I know when I went to Fort Detrick, Maryland, they had Nibbles with Gibbles, red hot ones that I love. In the vending machine, also in the store, so I got a lot of them. I love those things. Well, anyways, going on in the future, I was telling my dad about Munchos, and he's like, he only liked Wise Original, usually. And then I found out he liked, during the last couple of years before he passed, he actually liked the Pringles Mango Salsa. He was a big fan of that, so I got him that. I was telling him, you should try Munchos. They're really good. And he's like, I don't want to try that shit. I just want, like Wise, pretty much. He pretty much stayed with one thing. And then when he tried Munchos, he loved them. He loved them. I said, well, get these from now on. They're only $2. And when he got chips, he used to like to dip them in, what the hell was it? The hell of a good French onion dip. Well, I mean, because I remember buying Meadowbrook, and he hated the Meadowbrook, but he liked hell of a good French onion, which I like too. I mean, well, I'm not big into chip dip though. I don't usually dip chips. But he found out that these break really easy because they're really thin and airy when they break, so they're not the best chip to dip. Sadly, he passed away whenever Utz made a whole bunch of chips that had the flavor of hell of a good already baked in, like the bacon horseradish one, and the thing that a cheddar one, and the French onion dip. He would love that. But he loves these chips. And then it's a shame that that he passed away, and I found they had a flaming hot Munchos. He would have loved to have tried those. I would have bought him some too. And like I said, it's only $2. That's not bad at all. So back to present day, it's just a shame he passed away before he got to try those. And the Utz one's flavored with hell of a good dip, you know. So I'm going to go ahead and review these now. I want to thank Tony Talant for getting me these, sending me these. Light, tasty, crispy snack, potato chips, $2 only. It's not bad. On the back, it says, reach for Munchos Crisps when you want a light tasting snack pack with full potato flavor and a crispy crunch. Try this delicious snack. You won't believe such a light tasty crisp is so mouth-watering. Be sure to try some of our other great Frito-Lay snacks with a unique taste and crispy crunch, like Cheetos, of course. I remember when I was in Fort Bragg, the soldiers were saying these are really good, because I never heard of them before. Go ahead and try them out. And also, my friend Heather Masson never tried them. I said, if you ever get a chance, you should try them. And if you don't like them, I'm sure the rest of your family will eat them. You know, it's just one bag. It's only $2. And she loved them after she tried them. This is what one of them looks like. They're very light and airy. Oh, that's a good shot right there. Okay. Go ahead and see how they taste. These are really good. I love the texture. Yeah, these are delicious. I know because I've always been a fan of these. I knew I was on the right track to tell my dad about these. These are really perfect snack. I know Crunchers chips went away, I think, but Munchos is still here to this day. So there you have from our personal history and a review of Munchos potato chips. Thank you very much, Tony Talant, for sending me these. They're fantastic. I give them a full on 10 out of 10. I should have had a little something to drink. But they're fantastic. I love them. So thank you again, Tony Talant, my dear friend, for being kind enough to send those to me. But he said I knew I had a personal history with those because my dad loved them and stuff. And I miss my dad very much. So hopefully, I'm hoping this New Year's will be really good. I'm hoping you're having a good New Year's Day. I'm going to post this on New Year's. I have a very traditional New Year's dinner coming up, so stay tuned for that. And until next time, bye. Like I said, take care of my Legion. I'm going to turn up the TV.